Hi, this is Bruno Kieszkowski, and this is my multicultural foods project on kakaliki soup. So, what is kakaliki soup? Kakaliki soup is the national soup of Scotland. This is a recipe that started off in France as regular chicken and onion soup. It soon found its way over to Scotland, and they altered the recipe to fit their regional needs. This included adding prunes uh, and leeks to the soup because they are very abundant in Scotland. Nowadays, the recipe has been modified a lot of times with adding rye, carrots, onions, and sometimes even celery to make a more full-bodied soup. But traditionally, the soup is just made with chicken, leeks, and prunes. So how do we make this soup? Well, there's some key ingredients that you need to gather before starting to cook. You'll need 4 leeks, a whole chicken, a head of garlic, a handful of prunes, a bay leaf, some rice, and of course, some salt and pepper to taste. So the actual preparation is pretty easy. You need to start out with your leeks just like this and lie them on a cutting board. Then you want to dice up that fibrous green part and set it aside. All 4 of your leeks should now look like this. Now take that fibrous green part and place it in a pot and thoroughly wash it with your hands. That process should look something like this. You want to make sure to not skip this step because leeks can have a lot of sand trapped inside of them like you see here. Now you want to strain out all of your leeks with a strainer. Scoop the leeks out of the pot and into a bowl. This will make them clean and let us use them in our soup later. Now you want to add your leek tops, your chicken, your garlic, your prunes, 1 bay leaf, and cover with water in a big pot and bring that all to a boil. Now turn that down and let it simmer for an hour and 15 minutes, and in the meantime, you can cut off the root from your leeks, cut them in half long ways, then dice them and add them to a bowl and thoroughly wash them just like before. Now you can take your chicken out of the soup, shred it, place the shreds in another container in the fridge, reintroduce the bones and scraps back into the broth to get a deep flavor, and let that simmer for another hour. Once that simmering hour is done, you can pull out all of the scraps and solids out of the soup broth and make sure to strain it. You want to strain it until it looks something like this. Then you want to add half of your chopped leeks, salt and pepper to taste, and a 1/4 cup of rice just to thicken up the soup. Let that all simmer for 1 hour, and then we can begin our final process of adding the rest of our leeks, our chicken scraps, salt and pepper, and letting that simmer for 20 minutes. Now your soup should look something like this. Enjoy!